massive storm to bring a deluge of rainfall across the southwestern and southern United States. Meanwhile, a blistering heat wave will be building across the west coast and portions of the Pacific Northwest through this weekend into early next week, as well as the Atlantic hurricane season ramping up as we get towards the end of August into early September. Thank you guys for joining me here this morning on your Saturday morning. Good weekend. Happy weekend to you guys out there. Definitely appreciate you guys joining me this morning. If you guys do love, long range and kind of detailed weather breakdowns here, this is the place to be, guys. We definitely break down the weather pattern for you guys and definitely appreciate you guys joining every morning and again this morning. So looking here at the current maps out there, you can see the green colors across portions of Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas. That is actually a flood watch here in conjunction to that extreme flooding potential as we head here through the next few days, through this weekend into early next week. Meanwhile, these orange shadings here into portions of central and northern California, that is a heat advisory here ongoing across these areas as that blistering heat wave really starts to expand as we head here through this weekend. So looking here at the past 24 hours, we do have an upper level low pressure system spinning across portions there of the upper Midwest and gradually, shifting off to the east towards the Great Lakes region as we head here through this weekend. But look across the south, guys, right across the Gulf Coast here, back through Texas and even portions of the southwestern United States here into Arizona and New Mexico. We are actually seeing that monsoonal moisture here advecting northward into this region, bringing that heavy rainfall with the flash flooding potential here as we head through this weekend. So looking at this, kind of zooming out the picture here, we definitely have that upper level low pressure system, spinning across portions there of the western and central Great Lakes as we head here through the day today. But to the west of there, we actually have that ridge starting to expand across the Rockies and more importantly, parts of California, Nevada, and the Pacific Northwest with that blistering heat wave that will provide temperatures well into the 90s, if not the 100s, as we head here through this weekend into early next week. And that will just continue even as we head into Sunday and Monday. Like I said, that ridge will really just continue to kind of, build and amplify across the western United States, bringing that high heat across these areas all the way through the, early next week. Looking at this upper level low, first off here this morning, mid to upper 70s here across portions of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and northern Illinois. Portions here from Green Bay down through portions, of Milwaukee, the Chicago lakefront, Rockford, Illinois. These areas will be in the mid 70s here this afternoon with that rainfall underneath that low pressure system. To the south, we're going to be seeing a little bit more heat as we head into this afternoon, middle 90s from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex up towards Wichita Falls, Oklahoma City, Tulsa areas there around 96 degrees here this afternoon with some of that heat building. But back to the west where we see that extreme rainfall starting to build here with that monsoonal weather across portions of Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah. Yeah, we're going to be seeing some cooler temperatures there, but yeah, that heat will build across portions here of the West Coast as we head into this afternoon with multiple areas in California there with that heat advisory into the mid 100s here towards, the 100 to 110 degree mark as we head into this afternoon. That will continue to amplify here even up into the northern plains. Areas into eastern Montana, western Dakotas will be well into the 90s as we head into your Sunday, and that will continue here as we head into Monday. Meanwhile, though, with that low pressure system here spinning across portions of the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, we'll continue to see some cooler weather there with temperatures in the upper 70s to averaging right around 80 degrees here across much of New England, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Great Lakes region here as we head even into early next week. So kind of looking at this here in two features, we're seeing an upper level low like I was showing you across portions of the western Great Lakes here this afternoon. You can definitely see that here with the lines on here, kind of that broad trough across portions of the Great Lakes. Looking here to the south, we have vorticity showing up, so some energy in the upper levels here of the atmosphere showing up here across portions of New Mexico, Arizona, and that is our next system that will bring some, a deluge of rainfall across this region as we head here through this weekend, and that will continue to move slowly eastward with a parallel surface boundary starting to kind of set up across portions of North Texas, southern Oklahoma, eastward toward Little Rock as we move into Sunday. And that also brings the chance for some severe weather with that upper level low pressure system as well. Marginal risk for severe weather across the lower Missouri Valley Ozarks, getting up through the Illinois Valley, including Chicago, Indianapolis, and getting over there towards Cincinnati and portions there of Toledo, Ohio, Cleveland, and parts of Detroit as well, with some isolated strong to severe storms with some quarter-size hail, some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here as well. The tornado risk is less than 2%, so we're not too worried about that. But even as we head into Sunday, guys, we still have have a marginal risk across western New York State, western Pennsylvania, much of Ohio, West Virginia, getting down into much of Kentucky, north central portions there of Tennessee, and southeastern Indiana on Sunday. And Sunday, we actually do have a 2% chance of tornadoes, mainly across southern and eastern portions there of Ohio and northern Kentucky, where we could be seeing a couple spin up, weak tornadoes across this area as that upper level low pressure system provides that lift and also that rotation here for those storms to develop, so supercells, as we head into Sunday afternoon and evening. So timing this out for you guys here using the HRRR model, this afternoon, we're looking here early afternoon, noon, 1, 2 o'clock. We'll see kind of spokes of energy starting to revolve around this upper level low. That will be centered across east central Iowa as we head toward early this afternoon. That will slowly, meander and shift off to the east here with some spokes of energy and some instability building here as we head to late Saturday afternoon here, 3, 4, 5 o'clock here this afternoon across north central Illinois. So areas like Peoria, Illinois, Rockford, Illinois, maybe up toward Madison, Wisconsin, we could be talking about some scattered to numerous thunderstorms, and a few of these could be feisty. We could be seeing some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail. Again, the tornado risk is very low, but again, I guess I couldn't rule out maybe an isolated, brief, weak tornado here, maybe an EF0 or something like that, but really the tornado risk is pretty low, and as we kind of move into the overnight hours, we'll start to shift these storms to the east, and the overall coverage of storms will start to gradually weaken as we head into Sunday morning across the western Great Lakes here as well. Moving across portions of the Mid-Atlantic and the eastern Ohio Valley, again, early Sunday afternoon, we'll see these spokes of energy starting to push across northwestern Ohio, portions of Indiana here as we head towards that 1, 2 o'clock time frame on your Sunday. That will push to the east, and we'll just have widely scattered showers and storms developing all across the Mid-Atlantic and the Ohio Valley and southern Great Lakes region as we head towards late Sunday afternoon, that peak heating time frame, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. And then as we get towards the dinner time frame and then the overnight hours, some of these, showers and storms will push over towards Pittsburgh, portions here of, Richmond, Virginia, getting down here into portions of North Carolina as well. And a couple of these storms could be feisty enough to become supercells and produce some weak, isolated tornadoes as we head here into the evening hours on your Sunday. So we'll keep tabs on that here as we move through time. But it's really to the south where I'm really more concerned across portions of North Texas, Oklahoma, and Arizona, New Mexico. These are the areas I'm concerned about with this conveyor belt of moisture, of monsoonal moisture across this area as we head to this afternoon. That will continue, and you can see the jet stream here, the 250 millibar winds are very well, parallel to this boundary. So again, as we have these winds in the upper levels and the mid levels of the atmosphere parallel to the surface boundary, we're really not going to see much movement other than these storms training over the same areas time after time after time as we head through this weekend, and that really just continues into your Monday time frame as well. So looking at this here, this is kind of the precipitable water value anomalies showing up here across portions of the southwestern United States, where you see the green colors here in New Mexico, West Texas, and southeastern Arizona. That's about 1 inch to 2 inches here, standard deviations here above climatology, with rainfall out there. So that it does mean here some flash flooding is possible as we head into this afternoon. That will definitely occur here across portions of much of north and northwest Texas, southwestern Oklahoma as we head into your Sunday and even into your Monday, again, across the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, Texarkana, getting up towards portions there of, Wichita Falls. Again, another 1 to 2 standard deviations above climatology for that precipitable water value. So we'll continue to watch that as we head here into even early next week. But looking at the precipitation amounts here for a 24-hour period here from, around noon today all the way through the morning hours on your Sunday, yeah, we can see widespread rainfall amounts here, heavy rainfall at that across portions of New Mexico, southeastern Arizona into the Texas Panhandle around Lubbock, getting up toward Amarillo and back toward the Albuquerque area. We could definitely be talking about widespread rainfall amounts of 1 to 3, maybe even 4 inches as we move here into this afternoon. Also watching this feature here, I'll be, outlining later in this video of some heavy rainfall down towards Brownsville and maybe Corpus Christi there in Texas as well, with a tropical feature moving up across South Texas as we head here through the afternoon as well. So we'll continue to watch that. And again, across portions here of the Ohio Valley and the southern Great Lakes around the Chicagoland area, Indianapolis, and portions of central Illinois, there could be some areas that get around 1 inch on average here of rainfall across these areas along the I-80 corridor, the I-57 corridor there in Illinois, and again, mainly north of Indianapolis with that heavier rainfall. So places like South Bend, Gary, and then Fort Wayne, Indiana, getting in on some of the rainfall over 1 inch potentially through this afternoon. And that's why they have that marginal risk of excessive rainfall rather across portions there of Indiana, much of Illinois, Missouri, southern Wisconsin, and portions of lower Michigan as well for some of that rainfall. But I'm, again, concerned about portions there of Arizona into New Mexico, where we do have, the moderate risk for excessive rainfall. The Weather Prediction Center has put out a moderate risk across this area. Again, even a slight risk of excessive rainfall by the Weather Prediction Center all the way across to your eastward towards portions of Amarillo, Lubbock, Midland, Texas. So we'll continue to watch that as we head into this afternoon and this evening. And again, even as we move into your Sunday tomorrow, much of North Texas along and south of the Red River there going to be experiencing widespread rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches as we head from Wichita Falls down toward the DFW Metroplex, even over there towards portions of Texarkana. Even Shreveport, Louisiana here could be seeing some heavy rainfall around 2 inches there as well as we head into Sunday afternoon and evening. And then again, the Weather Prediction Center does forecast a slight risk for excessive rainfall and even some scattered flash flooding events across much of northwest, northern, and in northeastern Texas, northwestern Louisiana, southwestern Arkansas, and much of south central Oklahoma as well. So we'll continue to watch that. And again, I promise you, this is another different day. This is Monday afternoon. Again, we're talking about another additional 2 to 4 inches of rainfall across much of east central and northeast Texas, getting over there towards northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and again, another day of a slight risk for excessive rainfall as we move into central and eastern Texas, northern Louisiana, and southern Arkansas during that period here as well. And again, with that upper level low across New England, we could be seeing some marginally, conditions marginal for some flash flooding up into those areas around Boston, Hartford, Connecticut, getting down toward the New York City area and portions there of upstate New York. So we'll continue to watch that as well, even as we head into Monday. And again, same thing happens as we get into Tuesday here. Widespread rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches, again, in the same areas as we head into east central Texas across those very same areas here. And that will bring another threat for slight risk here of excessive rainfall on your Tuesday. And that even continues as we get to Wednesday, now including portions of the Houston area, Corpus Christi, getting into west central portions there, Louisiana, and back towards south central Texas. So we'll continue to watch that even as we head towards the middle of next week. But getting toward late next week, we'll finally start to kind of dry out across North Texas and southern Oklahoma and parts of the Texas Panhandle. But we'll again across the Gulf Coast into portions of Florida and the southeastern United States. We'll continue to see that relentless rainfall pattern continue as we head towards that Thursday time frame, and even as we head towards Friday into Saturday here of the following weekend here. So we'll definitely continue to watch that as we head here through the rest of the next several days to keep you here ahead of all these storms and all the rainfall. But definitely want to watch out, guys, for flooded roadways and all that stuff as well. Turn around, don't drown here is the name of the game, because look at all the rainfall, guys, around portions here of Texas, especially around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, Texarkana, Tyler, Texas, getting down toward Houston. A lot of these areas, even around Shreveport, we're going to be talking about widespread, probably 5 to 10, maybe even 12 inches of rainfall here over the next 7 days. So we'll definitely be watching that. Even portions there of eastern Carolinas down through southeastern Georgia and portions of Florida there, from Orlando down towards Tampa Bay, down towards the Naples, Fort Myers area in Florida. Widespread rainfall of about 2 to 5 inches there as well as we head through the next 7 days. And again, plenty of rainfall for portions of New England. I know there's a drought ongoing across portions of Boston. We'll be watching that as well here, with maybe some 1 to 2 inch rainfall amounts up along the I-95 corridor in New England as well. Again, just alluding to the drought, we do have an extreme drought up into portions there of Boston, getting down into the entire state of Rhode Island and eastern Connecticut there. That will be some good news to get 1 to 2 inches of rainfall across those areas. But again, erasing the drought is possible across this area into Texas here, as in southern Oklahoma, as we head through the next several days. If not erasing it, we're going to get very close, guys. We're going to really get close across many of these areas. I know a lot of these areas in extreme, even exceptional drought in these red shading colors. So that will be some good news to get some beneficial rains. But again, even if you're in the drought, we definitely could still see some runoff rainfall, so we'll continue to watch that. Looking beyond that here towards next weekend, into the kind of finishing off August and going into the first couple of days here into September, here towards the September 2nd time frame, we're talking about still cooler than normal conditions here across portions of Texas, New Mexico, getting into portions there of Oklahoma, near normal conditions across most of the Mid-South. But again, over top of this kind of rainfall activity across the southern United States, we have that that ridge that'll be collapsing over top of that across the northern plains, parts of the upper Midwest, and more importantly, the Pacific Northwest is going to be heating up in a big way as we finish off August here as well, with more 100s on the way there, and even some slightly above normal temperatures across the East Coast down toward Florida as well, starting to open up the couple of days here of September. Looking at the precipitation amounts here from the Climate Prediction Center, yeah, we're talking about rainfall amounts here averaging around, like I said, 5 to 10, 12 inches, and that will, provide the threat here for above normal precipitation, even as we start to, open the book on September as we move towards that Friday, September 2nd time frame. And again, where that ridge is placed across the northern plains, the upper Midwest, and the Pacific Northwest, we'll be talking about drier than normal conditions opening up the, first couple of days of September as well. So kind of looking at this a little bit more as we head towards next weekend, again, we'll have that kind of broadening of the trough across the upper Midwest, but largely that ridge will kind of remain intact across portions of the western United States, providing that heat as we get towards that Saturday time frame and even Sunday time frame as we kind of close out the last weekend here in August. So we'll definitely watch that here as well. Turning to the tropics, guys, we got some activity to talk about here. We actually have tropical system number 4 across the Bay of Campeche into the western portions of the Gulf of Mexico here. You can see that on the visible satellite imagery here. This is pushing up to the northwest, bringing some heavy rainfall along and east of the Mexican border here, and just pretty much right along the Mexican coast up towards South Texas, the Brownsville area, Corpus Christi. Could have a few more inches of rainfall there as well, so that's some good news, and considering they have drought there. But again, we don't need the rainfall all at once, so again, we'll continue to watch that here. There could be some flooding issues down towards Brownsville, and you can see that there's some rainfall mainly off the coast, offshore here of eastern Mexico, getting up towards South Texas here over the next couple of days. So again, the bigger deal I think will be that monsoonal moisture up into North Texas, but again, we could be seeing some flooding rains across South Texas as well, so we'll continue to watch that. But newly issued is the National Hurricane Center's area of interest here across the southern Atlantic basin here, well to the east of the Lesser Antilles, again over the open waters through the next 2 to 5 days. They actually give this about a 20% chance of development here with a system coming off of Western Africa here. Like I said, the Atlantic hurricane season is coming, guys, and once it gets started, it's going to be tough to stop, so we'll continue to watch that. Looking at the European forecast model, we have a wave coming off of Western African coast here as we head towards potentially early this coming week, and this will start to move westward very slowly as we get towards the middle and late portion of next week. The European forecast model provides maybe a open wave to maybe a tropical depression developing potentially towards late next week, a little bit far out. But again, this could be moving westward towards the Lesser Antilles, but still pretty far away here, even as we get towards next weekend. So something we'll watch. We'll watch that for sure. The GFS in comparison is actually showing a more robust system and also a lot farther here, kind of displaced from the European forecast model. So there are timing differences. There are location differences in where this system develops, but there is high confidence that this is probably going to develop here, at least to a tropical system. Will it become named? That is the big question here. Will it become a tropical depression, a tropical storm, or a hurricane? Again, that is all a possibility, but again, it really just has to do with how warm the water temperatures are, the steering current of where this could go, and also here, just a lot of factors going into this. So we'll continue to watch this. This will be the time frame to watch is the last weekend here in August, and remarkably, even the ICON model is pretty much on board with that same type of system developing as well. So that's 3 computer forecast models. We'll continue to watch that to see if this does trend that way. If the trends continue to emerge that we have a lot of these computer forecast models showing this, then we'll be advertising this on my videos here through the next several days to keep you well ahead of the potential tropical weather. That is for sure, guys. So you can definitely count on me to do that. And again, we do have some weak wind shear. Again, there's some wind shear potentially north of the system, but again, there is a lot of open space here for this thing to develop, especially with the warmer waters potentially in the middle and late portion of next week towards next weekend. So we'll continue to watch that. And again, the Atlantic hurricane season will be ramping up. You can see we're already here into the end of August, and we're really just climbing that ladder here towards the peak of the hurricane season as we get towards eventually the middle of September. So again, we still have about a month or so left here until we start to descend on the climatologically active period of time for the tropical hurricane season in the Atlantic. So we'll continue to watch that. Looking here back at the the approximate number of named storms here from 1944 to 2020, you can see a lot of these named storms in August to have actually formed in that very same location and moved to the west toward the Lesser Antilles, eventually reaching the Greater Antilles and the East Coast potentially, or just into the Western Atlantic. So that, again, this could take a, if this does develop, could take a similar path climatologically like we see in August. So we'll continue to watch that in the next several days. Well, thank you guys for watching my video. I hope it is very informative for you guys with accurate weather forecasts. Definitely you guys can count on me for all your weather coverage. Remember to like the video down below, give it a thumbs up, and leave any of your comments, questions, and concerns below. I will definitely get to those later on today. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. I definitely appreciate all the new subscribers out there. Thank you guys so much for making this channel so much better. I definitely appreciate it. Have a great weekend, everybody. More importantly, a great Saturday out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.